breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to be. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation pride.
And what's up, everybody? Good afternoon. We have tropics to talk about. It's happening. It's coming. Hurricane Henri is not yet a hurricane, but expected to be very soon. 70-mile-an-hour winds right now. So, hey, quickie little Friday update. We normally do these in the morning at 9:19 in the morning. We're going to do one tomorrow, special one in the morning. Normally not on the weekends, but we'll be doing one tomorrow. I don't know the exact time, but I'll post it in the pinned segment. It'll probably be 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern time because we got to hit the road at 10. But I'll be updating, obviously, throughout the day like I always do. We'll be doing a special live video in the morning. We'll turn up the volume a little bit. So, hey, welcome, by the way. This is Mike's Weather Page. We've been rocking and rolling since 2004, 2009. We kicked off Facebook. We got 1 million followers and got a lot of great special fans. Our little MWPs, we call everybody coneheads because everybody lives and dies in that cone of uncertainty. So if you see the word conehead, it's because that's what we call everybody on our page is a bunch of coneheads. It's better than a different kind of head that begins with a D. Anyway, what's up, Michael Hedgepath? What's up, Michelle? Hey, I saw Darnell. What's up, Darnell Dennis? What's up, Greg Montgomery? Man, I'm taking half your day doing these lives, buddy. Sellout 19, not used to hurricanes up there. I know, man. It's happening. We just got hurricane warnings. So everybody up that neck of the woods, New England, lower southern New England, and parts of Long Island under hurricane warnings now. Legit hurricane warnings, surge warnings. So, proud conehead, Sue. That is great. Hey, Julia, what's cooking? We'll give everybody a minute to kick in here real quick. For sure. I saw a picture of Tammy Kent. She's on her way. So, Tammy, if you're watching, be safe. We got the team from OSR on their way to do their damage assessments. They're bringing linemen and wire down watchers and all of the hard work that goes into storm recovery. So they're a big supporter of our page. They're on their way. I also heard Furman. Greg, I heard you might be hooking them up with some power equipment. We have all the tools on our page, man. We got roofing companies, claims companies, power companies, beer companies, alcohol. All right, so we're going to go right into it. So first and foremost, big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. They're here in Florida. Friday. No storms in Florida, so hit ABC tonight on your way home from work. don't spend too much. But I always end up spending a lot. So big thanks to ABC. All right, here's the latest and greatest. Let me show you some stuff. All right, so this cone just came out. This is your 5 o'clock cone of uncertainty. All right, so I'm just going to go right into weather. I won't get to see a lot of comments. Shelly's watching in the background. Her chat's messing up. She's only able to see. We got Sandy Hoff, though. Sandy's been helping our Cat 5s and Cat 3s getting those emails for our app. All right, so hurricane warnings are up. Now, what does this mean? Well, the storm is turning north. Zero worries about that. I know a lot of folks in the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida were worried about this because it looks so close. If you look at the dang satellite imagery, actually, you'll see it, and it's like, oh my God, this thing's sitting right off the dang coast. Look at this. But it's starting to make that expected turn north, and we went into all that this morning. There's a frontal boundary right here that is picking up our system, and there's a high pressure off to the east, and the high pressure winds are blowing clockwise, so our system has an easy direct path off the coast, guaranteed. So no Florida impact or anything like that. It's starting to make that turn. You can see it. Hurricane hunters are fixing to go out again. It's at 75 miles an hour right now, and it should be a hurricane tonight more than likely because it's definitely becoming a little better organized. Here's a zoomed in of the latest cone. If you're really curious, the latest NHC cone is showing the center point here for Long Island. And yeah, we've been seeing this little tick to the west, little tick to the west, little tick to the west, little tick to the west. This is the latest 5 o'clock cone. These are your hurricane warnings are up on both sides of Long Island into Connecticut. Hurricane watches are in pink. That means that we could have a little shift, or we could have an expanding system, possibly bringing hurricane winds to the east. Tropical storm warnings are in blue, and tropical storm watches reach down into New Jersey now in yellow. We also have storm surge warnings up. Those are not posted, though. I'm not sure why yet. Let's see if they updated them. Here is your latest. Yep, they are. So everywhere in pink is storm surge warnings now. Dark pink. So we got a lot of areas under storm surge warnings. Okay, significant. Remember Sandy? Sandy was a Category 1. This system is expected to be around a Category 1 on approach. So surge could be a big story. We have a higher than normal full moon this weekend. I think I posted it. I can't remember the name. Sandy. I joked about it this morning. There's a damn, there's a name for every full moon. I don't know what this one's called, but it's a larger full moon than normal, meaning higher tides. We looked earlier at tide charts, and we have a high tide here at noon on Sunday. So that the Long Island area will be have a increasing tide when our system's probably approaching on a landfall. So we got to watch that. Storm tide is storm surge plus tide, but these have just been posted. These are storm surge warnings in pink. It's going to suck. All right, so this has definitely been updated. The rain maps have been updated. Now we're starting to see orange. This is 6 to 10 inches of rain. The system's expected to stall because we have a high pressure system that's dipping down out of Canada, and it's going to block, and our system's just basically going to hit a brick wall for 24 hours and then finally move on out of here. So it's unprecedented to see a tropical system in New England area stop like this. So flooding could be a second story out of this. Is the stalling that we're fixing to see Saturday or Sunday into Monday, not Saturday. Saturday the rain band should probably be about right here, maybe south. So most of the action's coming in on early Sunday morning and into Monday. But our rain totals are increasing. Now we're up to orange, 6 to 10 inches possible. And they might increase even more. This is another graphic. This is a flooding potential map. Moderate flooding potential now for big chunk of Long Island. And what is that? Is that my phone? So moderate risk here, flooding Long Island, going into Connecticut, Rhode Island, a little bit into Massachusetts. So that's something to look out for there. All right, so let's look at some models. Here, let's see if they've updated the surge map. Nope, still 3 to 5 foot. These are actual surge values the NHC puts out. This is at 5 o'clock, so still looking at 3 to 5 foot on the east side. And you might, some of y'all might be new to these hurricanes up that neck of the woods. So we get a landfall here. Most of your heaviest surge is on the eastern side because we have spiraling rain bands feeding in off of the Atlantic. So that's why, even though we have a landfall here on the latest track, most of your surge is always on the east side because of the counterclockwise flow of a tropical system. And the reason Long Island's got to worry about it is, on approach, we're going to be seeing these squalls turning inward counterclockwise. That's what the tropical systems spin counterclockwise, and all this water potentially can shove into the Long Island there. So that'll be interesting. Unfortunately for New York City, we'll have to be watching it for sure as all this water piles in. And if this thing slows to a crawl, then we're going to see constant battering of winds. And even though the system will be weakening, we're still going to see hours of potential bands of rain, and that brings surge. Spaghetti models, these I posted these a little bit ago. These are all your different brains, all your different little computer models. We use Tropical Tidbits a lot. Every one of these little guys has a different brain, and when you have every one of their little brains saying landfall, you have pretty high confidence. So I think we're definitely looking at a landfall 48 hours from now, a little earlier, maybe midday, noon on Sunday. And remember, the effects of your storm are going to be felt way before landfall. Some of you, again, this is all, you got to be refreshed sometimes on this kind of stuff. But this is a good graphic here. This tells you the earliest when you might see tropical storm force winds. So Sunday, 8 a.m., you can see tropical storm force winds all the way up into New Hampshire, past Massachusetts, Sunday at 8 a.m. That's because even though our system's going to be here, we're going to see squall lines way out ahead of it. So just don't focus on the center of the storm. The effects are going to be felt north earlier. So, the effects go way outside the cone. And that's what the NHC always stresses too. This is the track most likely that the center of the storm is going to take. If it takes a turn here closer to, the west, the effects of the storm are going to be like that. So the cone on the NHC is not where you're going to feel the effects of the storm. It's where the center of the storm can go. And this system is expected to grow a little bit because it's going to encounter cooler waters on approach. And when a system encounters cooler waters, it actually opens up a little bit, becomes kind of subtropical, which widens the wind field. So we're going to see more effects inland because of this opening up the system. So we got the path down, we got the strength down, we got key messages. Definitely read up on that. If you're new to the site, surge information all over the place. Surge inundation, we got watches and warnings. We have surge potential. What is surge? I got the Sierra map. We got tide info map. I got a coastal link. So water is the huge issue with tropical systems. Surge, if you're worried about death, it's a strong word, but over 85, almost, I think 85 to 95% deaths occur with water related in storms. You got freshwater flooding, you have surge, you have surf, riptides. So water is important to pay attention to. But so again, all these links. Sierra's got a great site. Sierra is a site that takes in current NHC tracking. This is your Sierra Coastal Risk Live map, and it gives you more individual looks at potential surge for different areas. So you live in Providence, all these little rivers, we saw this with New Bern, with Florence. Sometimes this water can get sneaky and push its way in. That's why we're seeing increased surge numbers here on the tip of these little inlets. Water gets pushed in on approaching systems, especially a slow-moving system. So pay attention to that. If you're in low-lying areas, especially north of our system. And of course, we got the Long Island Sound here, and again, the counterclockwise flow of our storm. It's going to be bringing in, a lot of water, and the question mark is going to be, what happens here? How much water is going to accumulate, and where's it going to go? That's, these are potential risks that we have to be concerned about. And then one last link, let me show you surge potential. This little guy right here. This is a good site because you can play around with it and you can see your particular area and where you can zoom in exactly where you live on a category 1. You got to click the little bar over here, hit storm surge, and it automatically defaults basically category 1 in the areas that could flood with surge under a category 1. So definitely play around with that. This is an actual NOAA site. It's official, and you can see, we got areas that would really surge with a category 1. Now these are worst case scenarios. All right, it's very confusing, these surge maps. When you go out a little bit, but let's say we had a landfall here. You're not going to get the worst case scenario surge here because it's too far to the west. So a lot of this takes into account, worst case scenario. So if we get a track like this, right? These numbers are likely, these numbers are likely, and probably these numbers are likely. These aren't likely as much because these are assuming a landfall like that. Remember, the east side of a system has the most amount of surge, and this is going to be kind of a rare case where we could see surge not only heavy on the east side, but also, coming in because of the sound there. So, all right, enough about that. There's enough links on that you can take a look at. Let's look at the latest models, give you an idea. Hurricane hunters are out there. They're going to be flying out there soon. Drop zones. They had a great mission earlier where they, this is really cool here. They actually go out there and do upper level wind drop zones where they check out more than just the eye of a hurricane. They actually investigate the surrounding air to get an idea, steering currents, like how strong is this high pressure system, how, steering currents. I mean, they want to know exactly where this is going to go because a slight wiggle here and there changes everything. So they sample data, not only the eye of the storm, but surrounding the storm so that they get great information on even humidity levels and moisture content, the potential of how this could strengthen. And then all this data gets fed into modeling, which probably the Midnight Model Suite, the 00C, will have a lot of fresh model data from the Hurricane Hunters. So the 00Z, they want to start honing in on A, how strong is this going to get, and B, where exactly is it going to go? Because that's big, man. We're talking New York City, man. There's a lot of people up there, for sure. All right, so we got the Weather Channel updated graphic. I love this graphic. I got a link to it. Weather Channel, props to them. Here's a great map. This will give you more colored detail on the hurricane watches and warnings and who's in what area, and purple's hurricane warnings right now. So there's that. So I'm going to show you some models now. We'll get into some stuff. So normally, hey, listen, you guys are sharing great information, by the way. Yeah, and if you're new to hurricanes, listen, there's right here, NHC, right above my NHC graphic, right there. These two graphics right here. So you got an NHC hurricane plan page, what to do before a tropical storm or hurricane. So if you're really worried, curious, tons and tons of resources. Talking about hurricane hazards and the dogs. What are you guys doing? Hunter's playing with a cord. Hey, what are you guys doing? We show the dogs in the morning, by the way. So if you want to see the dogs, MB, what are you talking about? MB pressure. Currently, we'll take a look at it. I think it was 990. We'll take a look at it. Still 70 mile an hour. But anyway, things to know: strengthen your home, evacuation plans, insurance, hurricane info. But all these links I have on the site. And then there's another one, how to prepare, and you have some great links. So if you want to educate yourself on things, definitely, if you have questions. And also, seriously, if you know, I have all these links here that help folks. Anything you need to know about hurricanes, pets, special needs, water, I mean, anything. So there's a lot of great information if you're new to hurricanes. All right, someone's asking what the MBs were. We can see that if you go to the public advisory page. This will tell you the last update was 994. So it's 994 pressure, 70 mile an hour winds, intensifying a little bit. It's in a very favorable environment now. This is weathernerds.org, but good ventilation. It's going over the warm Gulf Stream, very low shear, so it should intensify through the night and into tomorrow morning, midday tomorrow. So we're going to see how strong it can get. It is going to weaken before landfall. Tropical systems do not like cold water, so there's a threshold somewhere around here, you know, where we go from 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. So they are expecting slight weakening, but it won't have a lot of time to weaken before the initial impact. So it will weaken a little bit. All the models are showing it, but not a lot. And it's going to really matter how strong it gets before it weakens. If it gets to like 9, 70 millibar here tomorrow, then it might go to 985 here, which is still a strong Category 1 hurricane. So it will weaken. The question is here tomorrow, how strong does it get? Because that'll tell you how bad of a situation we'll have up there in the New York area. So let's look at individual models. Tropical Tidbits has some great high resolution models. These will show you the 12Z. We didn't look at these yet as far as what they're going to look like. So this is one look. This is just the wind map showing you a strengthening system throughout the day tomorrow, 985, 983, and it impacts at a 987. That's strong. Radar, this is a great tool. What I've noticed with all these models is this: for some reason, this storm is not following normal procedure, but we're seeing most of the rains are on the west side. So this is twofold. One, wherever this sucker goes, we're going to have surge and storms, obviously, on the east side. These are going to come in off the Atlantic. But we're seeing the heaviest rainfall staying on the west side. Usually you see everything on the east side. So we're seeing a trend that even though we normally talk about the east side getting everything, the west side is going to get some bands that are starting to widen, and this could be the cooling, the subtropical nature that it's trying to do and expand the wind field. So don't focus again on the center line. We could see heavy stuff definitely to the west. But this is the latest HWRF. This timing here is Sunday, like early morning, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. We're going to start to see rain bands and squalls. One thing to note about squalls, they can get nasty. They're not really mentioned too much with tornado talk yet. Might be the cooler waters out there, but we'll keep an eye on the Storm Prediction Center and see what they have to say. But as of now, they're not really showing anything, which is good. So maybe the cooler waters, but I know in the South we talk about it a lot. When you have squalls coming in off of the Atlantic, you have that possibility of some strong cells. But this is early Sunday morning, and there's our approaching landfall. This is about 10, 11, 12 in the morning on Sunday. There's our center. So, we're looking at a midday landfall into early afternoon with the HWRF. And then it just stops. This is Sunday, and this is Monday. It does dry up a little bit, but Very, very little movement in a 24-hour window. That's why we got the increased rain risk now. Past it, not seeing anything to worry about. I've had a lot of folks in Nova Scotia and Canada and Maine. This thing looks like it's going to die out after landfall. So that's good news so far. Here's the HMON modeling. Let's fast forward to Sunday, and it actually is on the west side of the cone, and this is New Jersey. So remember, the cone is not anything you focus on with the center. The cone is anywhere that the NHC, feels the center can go. So this would be the outlier, but here's New Jersey. So don't focus on the center. This thing could turn a little bit more, and bring a little more action into New Jersey. But here's the HMON. Sunday morning early. This is about 5 in the morning. We'll start to get squall lines overnight, early morning Sunday. And then, potentially 980 millibar, which would be strong category 1 Sunday morning. So this is definitely the extreme going a little bit more. But, what is mileage here realistically? We're not talking it would only take a little wiggle to move. Tropical systems, 1 degree turn is going to bring it a little closer. So that's why everybody in this cone needs to be watching. The tropical models here showing this turn. These are your ensembles mixed in with operationals, but all of them are showing this turn coming, and then a stop, and then a race on out of here. But there's a few outliers that are inching even farther west. We got to watch. So that was HMON. A lot of rain. That's an idea. Going to be heavy rain Sunday. Sunday is not a good day. And then we got GFS. We'll be getting an 18Z here real soon. These are your 12Zs. And it's showing, middle, a little bit eastern Long Island. This is Sunday morning. Landfall midday, noonish, 1ish. I think the time has ticked up a little bit. The NHC originally was Sunday night. We're getting into more later morning hours on Sunday. But again, look at this trend we're talking about. The models are really picking up on heaviest rains on the west side. Very weird. We'll get the heavy winds on the east side as the rolls in, but we're still showing heavy rains on the west side. So that hasn't changed. And then the Canadian model, a little weaker. Not you go right down smack dab down the middle of Long Island. This is Sunday morning, and again, rains heavy on the west side. And that's about it for the models. Let's look at the Euro. Euro has done terrible with this model this year, this century, the Euro. But it's finally caught up. Levi was talking about the Euro depends a lot on Hurricane Hunter data, and it's not really good at tropical genesis. So it's finally getting good data put into the model, and now it's right there on the eastern part of Long Island. This would be Sunday morning, 7 a.m. So indeed the models are ticking a little quicker. This means tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow is your only day to prepare, because things are going to go downhill fast Saturday night late into early Sunday morning. So even tonight, if you're in an area that's prone for surge or flooding or sandbags or getting your generator ready, getting gas, heaven forbid you lose power, but you need water and all your hurricane supplies. I know when we get a storm in Florida, man, people go crazy down here at Publix buying water and bread and beer and cheese and toilet paper. So make sure you have toilet paper. We don't want any stinky New Englanders. But seriously, Sunday morning, this thing, the models are inching faster and faster. So we can start seeing effects as late as Saturday night and Sunday morning early. But all right, so there's Euro. And then we got one more model we want to look at. I like the Icon model. It's one of my favorite models lately. And it's showing, I can't even tell where the hell the damn town is. All right, so that's a little bit more towards western Long Island. There's Sunday morning. And this is going to give New Jersey a lot of action. You're going to get a lot of rain, a lot of winds, a lot of squall lines in New Jersey out of this. All right, so trends are your friends. I feel confident with everything. We got this great model here. We have the warm Gulf Stream that does this. All this Caribbean hot water pumps the warm Gulf Stream. And it's going to be enjoying this warmer water until the last approach. So it has through tomorrow to intensify. Then it hits these cooler shelf waters and likely will start to weaken a little bit, but the NHC is stressing likely not enough to go below hurricane strength. But I can't believe we're talking about a storm in New York City. That's crazy. This has been the wackiest week ever for tropics. We started out with Henri as absolutely no chance of anything but a circle around Bermuda. That was what everybody's talking about. And look what we're doing now. We're talking about hurricane warnings for New York and New England. And 3-4 days ago, everybody wrote it off. It was going to circle around Bermuda. It was going to go off to Never Never Land. There was not even one drunk model that was showing New England. Rewind to Grace. Grace hit the Yucatan. Now it's hitting central Mexico. That 4 days ago was expected to go through the state of Florida. So this has been the weirdest week in tropical history. Weirdest week. Weird week. The media's not covering this nitro burp. I don't know. But yeah, we're just spreading the news, man. Had the same thing in Sandy. I covered Sandy. We talked a lot about Sandy back then, and hardly anybody knew it was coming. But I'm really more concerned about this surge with that full moon on Saturday. Remember, I got a tide chart here. Let's show it again. Just kind of show you what's going on. Here's tide info. Click on tide info. You can zoom right into your area, and we got this one Yonkers, Kings Point, New York tide marker. And if we fast forward to the 22nd, and we have high tide at, what the hell's the date tomorrow? So 22, right here. So the 22nd at noon, we have a rising tide at noon on Sunday. Now, locals told me this is normal, 8 foot, but add in the full moon. We have a rising tide. Rising tides with an approaching tropical system is not good because you got water rushing in, and you have the water blowing in from the storm. So it kind of even magnifies more. That's why we have storm tide. You have the rush of the tide water, you have the rush of the storm surge, and we have tide. So when you add 8 plus, 3 to 5, which is what they're calling for, where you're normally 8 foot, we could have 11 to 13 foot tide surge, so storm tide. And that's what they're expecting, 3 to 5 foot here in, 2 to 4. So that's good, but still 2 to 4 foot. So 10 foot to 12 foot. Not sure the area there, but if there is a worst case scenario, it would be the incoming tide noon. So we would want a little faster approach to not reach full high tide. But I'm sure the other areas are different. But anyway, you can check all that out. We got those links on there. So every tide's a little different. on that. So let's see. Let's do some wind maps. Let's go to New York and go to Long Island on the Euro. See if we can see any particular wind maps. Now the Euro's the weakest, so these are going to be the lowest, lowest case. I have no idea what I'm trying to say. least case scenario. What the hell that means? But all right, here's the approach. Brown winds are 64 to 68 knots. So you're talking, this is Sunday at 7 a.m. according to the Euro. Now the Euro is the weakest of most models. But this is where you can experience the heaviest winds, right down middle Long Island, and those are 73 knots max. Wind gusts 73 knots, and this is midday Sunday. And of course these winds will slowly start to die down, but they're going to definitely reach up into Connecticut and Rhode Island. That's why we have a hurricane warning in Connecticut. But just something to think about. Big winds, man, right off the coast. It's going to be nasty along the shore there. I don't know if we have... Oh, the GFS does have a wind chart. Let's see what they say. The GFS winds, it's a little more impressive looking, but that's a little bit more to the east. And we need to rewind here to... let's see. Can I zoom into... I can never find Massachusetts, Connecticut. All right. Rewind. Eastern. So again, things go downhill early Sunday morning in the dark hours, and then it goes up. So, and then there's our secondary landfall into Connecticut, Rhode Island. Pretty nasty, I'm telling you. It's gonna be very shocking for some that probably had no idea this was coming. And again, it's tomorrow night, man. Tomorrow night things start going downhill fast. All right, well, we covered all that. We are going to talk about the potential for the Caribbean and Gulf tomorrow morning. This little guy I'm not worried about. So we do have, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll see what the model said, but there's a Central American gyre setting up, it looks like, and we could see something down here brewing the end of the month. But we'll see if that... I like to look at those in like 12-hour segments, 24-hour segments. I don't want to look at every single model run. It'll drive you crazy. So we'll see in the morning if that comes back. But, Mike's weather page, all you got to do is Google it, spaghettimodels.com. Mike's, it'll pop up. If you needed all this great information, it's there for you. Yeah, it's happening. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Michael. I hope that made sense. Bring my flip-flops. Julie said I can't come. I don't know. Don't tell her I'm doing this right now. Let's take a look at Allegiant.
No.
She says no. Let's see what's flying out of St. Pete. Just for fun. This is just fun. I know. This for fun, I said. It's not real.
Fun.
Albany, New York. I don't know the land up there. So all right, so we gotta pick the airport. Let's see what they have a map page. I don't even know where they fly to. But somewhere there's a map. They used to have a map. Where the hell is their map at? So I don't even know where I would fly to. Albany sounds too far away. Let's see, what would be a good airport? Not Phoenix. We can go. Hey, I can hang out with you, Greg Montgomery. We can fly to Arizona. That'd probably be more fun. Greg, no, Shelly's driving. She's watching us right now. She's texting me actually. She's watching. She felt bad. She had to miss. So she's out there somewhere. She called me at 4:55. Said she's tuning in. Newark. Liberty International. Does Allegiant fly into there? Julie, I'm looking for somebody else, not me. I'm not looking for anybody else. Come stay on a boat. That would be kind of fun. Oh, see, I don't know all these damn areas up that way. I don't know. See these airports ring a bell? The only reason I like Legion, it's one way. It's cheap. Stewart, New York. Montreal, Plattsburgh, New York. Then the problem is if they even have a time. I could fly out of Orlando. Julie can dump me off. She keeps looking at me. Kristen, hey, well, we appreciate the new. So seriously, we got some new fans. This is the wrong way to get them. I apologize. You have. This is another map I wanted to show. Darn it! I always have this great data and I forget to put it out there. So here's a good link right here, right underneath Henry. NWS impacts right here. Look, see that? Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. All right, this map right here is a great map. This one tells you wind impacts. For example, let's go up a little bit. Now, wind threat, 74 to 110 mile an hour winds in red. Now, obviously a little lower than that because we're not, but red is hurricane. Even the orange threats, 58 to 73 mile an hour winds, possible. This stretches down into New Jersey. Yellow is potential for 39 to 57 mile an hour winds. So this is a great tool. Gives you an idea who can get the strongest winds. I'm going to put this together in a graphic. Here's storm surge threat. Orange is obviously greater. That's kind of an easy tool because it's put out by we got the storm surge warning and stuff. Here's flooding rain. Boom. Everybody in orange. Moderate flooding. And tornado threat. Nothing yet. So that's good news. I think that's the cooler water. So that's been very curious to me. Cooler water's not bringing up any tornado threats yet. So that's good news. Terry, yeah, she will smack me. She's going to ground me like an airplane. Yeah, Sandy's on our team now, so she's only just because she has an S in her name. And then I get them really screwed up. Every time I see your name, Sandy, I think of John Travolta. Sandy? I used to watch what the hell was the name of that movie? Grease Lightning. No, that wasn't the name of the movie, was it? Julie. She's got her. What was the name of that movie?
What movie?
The one with Grease Lightning? Sandy? Sandy? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Grease Lightning?
No, Grease.
Grease.
Just Grease.
Grease. Grease. Everybody's typing Grease. Alrighty. Well, listen, we'll be live in the morning. We'll announce it. Spirit flies to Atlantic City, Jersey. Oh, my God, Teresa, you got me in trouble. I loved Grease. New Jersey? I have no New Jersey accent. Grease. Everybody's typing Grease. Imagine if somebody just popped into our chat right now. Yeah, I heard this. Let's go to this Mike's Weather page, and then they go in there and like 1,000 people are typing Grease. Like, yeah, Greg, that was it. This car is hydromatic. I love the blue moon scene. I've been so close over the years when we have a blue moon to crop the blue moon scene, but then I'd get kicked off the internet, so we don't want to do that. Loretta Reed, how's it going? Thanks. Jump in the car, Peggy. Listen, I Googled it today. It was 18 hours of driving. I ain't doing that. Crazy. That's why I'm flying. Carolina says bring Crocs. Yeah, I know. And ant spray. Storm Chaser Mike, I gave you plenty, buddy. If this isn't what you like, that's fine. This is what I do. I've been doing this since 2009. So, sorry about that, man. It's not for everybody. There's your moon, Sandy. Yeah, I did a little research on the moon, Sturgeon moon. So that's, if you're curious of what kind of moon we got coming, definitely going to add to the totals over the weekend. Darcia going to Missouri. Scranton. Brent, aren't you on the road? Brent is that lineman, and he posted on our supporter page. He was driving the big truck today, and good for you, buddy. I was so impressed. So Monday morning, I was actually, was it Monday? When did I go to the storm? I can't remember now, but I drove all the way to Panama City area, Apalachicola. And during the eye wall of Fred, it was pretty intense. I mean, it was 70-mile-an-hour gusts where I was at. We had down trees and power lines, and there was line workers out there fixing the power during the eye of the storm. I mean, there was crap literally flying. I was so impressed with these linemen that they were actually working during the storm with crap flying around, trees coming down. Crazy. Good for you guys, man. Good for you. All right, what about New Jersey? New Jersey, you're on that edge. You're going to get a lot of squally weather. Yours could start as early as Saturday evening, afternoon, evening, Saturday for New Jersey. A couple models are still inching close to you in New Jersey. Listen, the last Icon and the last HMON are inching closer to western Long Island, and that would definitely give you more action in New Jersey. So pay attention to the latest cone at 11 o'clock. Right now, officially, I do not believe, I think we got a tropical storm watch is all for New Jersey, but I'm not liking a couple of these models still hinting a little bit more to the west. So anyway, here's your, so right now we're on a tropical storm watch. So the NHC is pretty confident this thing isn't going to turn that hard. But I would still keep a lookout on it. Just, if anything, like we talked about, big time, the NHC stresses don't focus on the center line, but we do, we get a center line like this, we're going to see a lot of squally weather off to the east. And let me show you that, because we have a lot of folks in New Jersey. The HMON, not particularly one of the best models, but not bad. But the Icon doing the same thing, so can't discount it. Is this the 18Z? No, it's still 12Z. Here's the Icon. So, there's the Jersey. Here's the eye. This is one model, just a little wiggle, and look. Jersey Shore getting the heavy bands. So I would 100%, if you were living in Jersey, I would still be watching. I wouldn't be worried. I'd just be watching for any sort of a NHC track change come 11 o'clock tonight. 11 o'clock, we have a new track and a new cone. But, that is not a big shift. So, not official. You're not in a hurricane watch. Just a couple models are still pointing that direction is what I'm getting at. If it wasn't for the Icon still showing it, I wouldn't even mention it. But the Icon to me has been a halfway decent model for a lot of years. So I'm just keeping that out there for folks that are west of the cone. And here's the latest Icon. This is the 18Z. Ooh, it just ran. And there you go. So this is 18Z, and it's definitely on the western side of Long Island. A little bit more west of track. So we're going to be getting, the new GFS might be out now too. The GFS 18Z is running now, but it's only ran 36 hours. Oh, getting close though. We can watch it. This is the latest 18Z GFS is running right now. Yeah, I remember that. But hey, I did wake up the next morning. Look, when did I write that? And I'll be the first to admit it, man. Never say never in the tropics. I told her I said very, 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 very unlikely. I never said no. I said Very, very, very unlikely. When did I put my post up about New Jersey? I posted something one morning. I left it up there because I didn't know if it would come back to bite me or not. But let me see. I'm really going back. I post a lot somewhere. I'm looking. I'm not giving up now. There's the heat. Man, these days run together. Somewhere. I'll find it. It was in the morning. Oh, there it is. August 18th. So I woke up. Whoever said that. Sellout 19. So look at this. 8 o'clock in the morning, August 19th. That was 18th, 2 days ago. I wrote, who asked me in New Jersey, should we be watching Henry? I said likely not. I changed my mind. Then I put New England should. So 2 days ago in the morning, I woke up. And I remember telling that lady, and I felt so bad because I broke my own rule. Never say never in the tropics. John, it's just a timestamp. Every 6 hours, models run 12Zs, typically 9:30 in the morning Eastern time. So every 6 hours, it just Zulu time. Every 6 hours, we get new models: 12Z, 18Z, 00Z, and 6Z. Every 6 hours. Even the Euro runs every 6 hours now. It's just hard to find it. You got to usually go on a paid site. Icon is a little west. Yep, I just showed that. There's your icon. Here's the latest GFS. Let's see what it's got. It's up to 42 hours, and there we go. And we can zoom in a little closer than that, I think, on the GFS. So let's zoom in to Massachusetts, Connecticut here. We'll take a look at this, I guess. Let's see if it's run. Oh, 18Z, 48 hours. Oh, my goodness. Where did it go? 18Z. Oh, we didn't get this one yet. So we have to go back to pressure. Oh, I can't get pressure. It's on state level. Crap. So that stinks. So let's go back to the latest GFS. Running right now. So we'll stick to the northeast and take a look at pressure. And we got 48 hours. There you go. Latest GFS. Keeping it on eastern Long Island as a 976 millibar system. That is pretty strong. .970 is borderline too. Sometimes the winds don't catch up. We talked about that with Sandy. The winds sometimes don't catch up to the pressure drop. But technically, the old Safford-Simpson scale, that could be a 2. Now, whether the winds are there or not, that's a different story. But the latest GFS, and I'm telling you, every model run that we get now is becoming more and more important. It was 969 on approach. Remember how strong it gets tomorrow. We're gonna see a weakening, but if it's 960s in the tomorrow, it ain't gonna weaken much at all. So that's the problem we got to worry about. And deep pressure systems push a lot of water, moving kind of quick. So we're gonna see those surge values, something to worry about. So anyway, that's that. This is Sandy 2.0. Unfortunately, a little to the north, maybe. I don't know. We track Sandy. Let me find it real quick. I have some cool imageries I want to show you. I use it when I do my presentations. But I had some good stuff. I was doing this back in Sandy days. I don't know if any of you all were here then, but I was doing the same thing in 2010. But here's a good map. Focus on this one right here. This is one of my slides that I do. But back when we were tracking Sandy, it was down below Cuba. And half the models had it going out to sea. High pressure was a big question mark. Other models had it going west. ultimately it went west because high pressure came in. But originally the GFS had it going out to sea. The H-Wharf had it going out to sea. This is back in 2012. And the Euro had it curving. And the GFDO, which is now the HMON, had it curving. So tracking models, man, that's this high pressure, the same deal. We had a high pressure sliding in, and it was a race. If our system gets in front of it, it gets on out of here. Slows down a little bit, it hits the block, and has nowhere to go. And that's what happened. So it's always fascinating to see history repeat itself with high pressures. And I need to show this one again real quick. Don't ever say it's only a Category 1. $175 billion or $103 billion since 2010 have been Category 1s. And 175 deaths. Irene, Isaac, Sandy, Hermine, Matthew, Nate, and Florence were all Category 1 hurricanes. And a lot of those are very memorable names, so don't say it's only going to be a 1, because that could bite you in the booty. Shake your booty. All right. Hey, Sandy, what's cooking? Sandy, your twins are circling the dinner like line sharks. They're like, come on, let's eat. All right. Well, we did a lot. Listen, you can rewind and watch this. It's on YouTube. It's also on Facebook, and we'll do one in the morning. Hopefully, doesn't get any stronger. I don't know. At this point, everybody should just be preparing. I mean, we got high confidence in the models of a landfall. We have high confidence in sub 990 pressure. That's happening. So hopefully everybody up there is ready. Says, all right, Beans. All right. Well, enjoy your evening, everybody. And we'll see you in the morning. Daily Brew. I'll post the time. What time we got to leave tomorrow, Julie? 10? We got to be there 11?
We have to be there 11.
So 10, we leave at 10. I'll probably be live around 8:30. So we'll post the time. It'll be in the 8 o'clock hour. Hey, holy crap, John. Thanks, buddy. That was a nice little... That'll take care of happy hour, man. And more. What's up, AJ? Thank you, Sue. I'm not going to talk any more weather. I'm just going to see who's left. I'm playing with this little hair tie. You know when you've made it to being a dad, when you understand how these things work? Like, I remember the first time I tried it. That's a barrette, I know. But it's the most fascinating thing in the world, man. It just snaps and it stays right there. You put it in your hair and you can... That's if you hear a click, that's what I'm playing with. Hugo, hey, listen, Hugo, you got... You're under hurricane watch. This thing wiggles just a little bit. You're gonna have surge. You're gonna be on the east side, which is gonna be a lot of storms coming in off of the Atlantic. You're under hurricane watch. You're gonna minimum 50, 60 mile an hour winds, but a little wiggle. You got to be watching close. Doesn't take much of a little wiggle, and this thing's gonna impact someone that might not be expecting it. So. Just pay attention to at this point. The only best advice I have is just really pay attention to the cone. Anywhere in this cone is where you can see the center of the storm go, and that's changes a lot. Center affects a lot more folks. But likelihood, I mean, NHC does an amazing job. The 3-day cone, the center line is pretty darn spot on. So at this point, we're just talking little wiggles. The only thing that I'm bringing up New Jersey is because we got a couple models showing a little more bend, and that's because of this high pressure coming down. Back to tropical tidbits, but the strength of this high pressure system, comes into play here, and it kicks our system a little bit to the west. If this high pressure comes in and gets a little stronger, then that's why we're seeing things like the H-Wharf or the Icon and the H-Mon kicking a little bit more westward. So, But the all-important 11 o'clock advisory will be coming out soon. So 11 o'clock, we're going to see a new NHC advisory. I'll post all that the morning when you wake up. Tomorrow will be like the last day. Like tomorrow morning, we'll have all this great Hurricane Hunter information. They're sampling the surrounding atmosphere. They're doing upper-level drop zones. They're doing a center pass run soon. All this data, they're going to be nonstop putting data into the models. All the models have this data on their 0-0 runs, which are tonight, about 6 hours from now. So all these models are going to run overnight. They're going to have fresh data, and modeling will become very believable. And we're going to, we'll start to see things get honed in a little bit better as far as tracks go. Hopefully we don't see these outliers turning, but it still seems to me like they're spot on. I don't know, there's 3 outliers, but still makes you pay attention when you see a few. And then we got ensembles too. Don't forget, ensembles are important to look at. Here's your latest. These are on Weather Nerds, but here's your latest European ensembles. You would like to see them a little tighter, but they're not. But we have just as many on each side. The black is the mean on the GFS. And we can look at the GFS. Hopefully the 6Z just came out. Usually it takes a little while. These are the 12Z, but here's the GFS ensembles. And they're a little bit more prone to Long Island. So if I had to call it, it would be Long Island for sure. So that's that. Be ready. Direct hit. Who would have thought? Two days ago. I gotta share this real quick though. This just makes me crazy. But Henry, look at this. Look at this. So, just Monday. Look. Monday. This is Tuesday. 4 days ago, Tuesday. That was the track. All the spaghetti models, everybody. And you know what happened? It ended up going farther. It just kept on coming. It just kept on coming over here. It took forever to turn. Well, the time it turned, high pressure came into play, and the rest is history. But, man, that was Tuesday. Now, the other storm, Grace, look at this one. This is even more crazy. Grace, graphic archive. This is even more crazier. Look at this one. This is Grace. Look at Grace. This was Saturday. This was Saturday night. So that was 5 days ago. We were expected to see that, Florida in the cone, and it just never happened. It just kept on coming along, so it was bad week for the models. Bad models. So cool. All right. See y'all in the morning. Have a great evening. Hey Harold, how's it going in Idaho, man? Great weekend, Harold. Thank you very much, buddy. Good to see you, man. All right, full moon on Sunday. Yep. Cool. All right, enjoy your evening. Cheers. Have one for me. I'll have one for you, and we'll all get